Now let's get into the college football playoff postseason. Let's get into the first round. Well, we got what we got this weekend. Our first game, of course, is Alabama and Oklahoma, and prediction time, baby. Well, as Jalen Waddle did say, I was listening to this on ESPN last night from the Dolphins and the Steelers game, which was an absolute game. Cold weather, Dolphins can't win in that. We'll get into that later. However, though, the Alabama-Oklahoma game is huge, right? Because Alabama lost to Oklahoma earlier this season at Alabama, at home at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, in T-Town. Well, Joey, how are you feeling? We'll do a short little breakdown of this game. Obviously, Alabama probably should have won that game earlier this season at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. They had some penalties. I think they had the muff punt. Ty Simpson had one or two interceptions. They really couldn't get the ground game going. But you know what? Alabama comes to play, and this game this Friday against Brett Venables. It's so hard to beat a team twice in a season. And you know what I think? I think Alabama has a sour taste in their mouth after losing to Georgia in the SEC championship, and all the narratives out there and all the haters out there saying Alabama shouldn't be in the playoff, Joey. They shouldn't be in the playoff. They lost to Georgia. They got mollywopped 28-7. I can't believe they got in over BYU. But you know what? I think Alabama puts the haters to bed this Friday night, and they beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma this Friday night. It's going to be a great one. And let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma. Well, John Mateer hasn't really been able to stay healthy this year. He had the injury earlier this year with the hand, and they looked really good in the beginning of the year. They kind of sputtered a little bit against LSU the last game of the season. So this is going to be a great one. I expect this to be a close game, but I think Alabama learns from their mistakes from the game earlier this season at Alabama, and they win this game, and Kalen DeBoer puts the rumors to bed. He is here to stay, and I'm rocking with the true SEC team, Alabama Crimson Tide, to beat Oklahoma in a close game. They learned from their mistakes from the game that they played at Alabama, and Ty Simpson proves why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I know Oklahoma's got a great defense, so it'll be a great one. But give me Alabama in a close game. That's where I'm going. And Alabama moves on to the quarterfinals against Indiana. That's my prediction. All right, next game. Texas A&M, Miami, number 7 versus number 10. Well, Miami, they snuck in. Nah, they didn't sneak in. They beat Notre Dame head-to-head. First game of the season. They 100% deserve to get in the playoff. We talked about that last week on the podcast. Now, this is going to be a huge test for A&M against Miami. Well, A&M is home, of course, and they're favored by 3.5 points. This is such a tough one because Carson Beck played in the SEC with Georgia. He understands the SEC. The experience is there. A&M is a good team. They lost, of course, their last game of the season against Texas, at Texas. This is tough. I mean, this really could go either way. Mike Elko and those guys are pumped up over there. Miami, they've got a good team. They played, really good against Pittsburgh in the cold weather. College Station's such a hard place to win. Man, this is tough because this game could really go either way. I want to pick Miami, and I want them to match up against Ohio State, but I just can't do it. I can't bet against the SEC. I got to go A&M at home. Marcel Reed, he does enough with his legs on the ground to win this game. I know Ruben Bain, Mark Fletcher, Kadarius Toney, Malachi Toney, Carson Beck. You know what? For some reason, I just can't trust Carson Beck. I really can't. I think he folds in the end there in College Station. And this is what I'll go with. This is how I'll play it out. Give me A&M to win this game, but Miami to cover the spread. I think Miami will do enough, but they won't come up. They won't come up in the end. A&M has a date in the quarterfinals in the Cotton Bowl with Ohio State on December 31st. That's how I'm feeling. And that's where I'm going. All right, next one, Ole Miss, Tulane. I mean, I don't know really. I mean, maybe you want like a Cinderella type story, and there's some way John Summerall and Tulane can win this football game against Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss just needs to do enough to win this game. I mean, 17.5 points is a lot. Of course, Ole Miss blew out Tulane earlier this season. But, I mean, I guess we'll have some fun. I won't. I'm going to take Ole Miss minus 17.5. I mean, we saw last year when SMU played Penn State. I mean, we saw earlier this year when Ole Miss played Tulane. I love Tulane. I love John Summerall. Can't wait for him to coach the Florida Gators, even without Lane Kiffin. I think this team is too talented. I feel like it's a no-brainer. I would love to be wrong, and Tulane would pull off the upset and prove me wrong. That would be great, but I don't see that happening. So won't spend too much time on that one there. And then the last game of the slate is Oregon versus James Madison. Another kind of woozy doozy. This is where you wish like Notre Dame was in, or that's how you kind of feeling, right? But hey, James Madison and Tulane, they deserve to get in. You can't punish them for winning their respective conference. So I'll take Oregon. I'll take Oregon to cover the spread, and those are my picks there. So that's how I'm feeling for this weekend, for this upcoming first round weekend. Really, the two games that everyone's looking forward to is Oklahoma and Alabama, as well as A&M and Miami. Hopefully, I'm clear from my cold at this point, and I feel better, and I can watch the game with my friends.